Welcome. On this episode, we will explore myths and demonology. Today on the Fellowship of the Sword.
Greetings, everyone. I am Kenneth, Deel, along with my wife.
Farah, Deel.
And tonight we're going to talk about the controversial topics. And we had originally a 20-point list, but there's just so many of them. That was just for a short blog on Facebook, to be exact. But tonight we're going to talk about, can demons do good? Can they do good?
A lot of people think they can. A lot of people think that demons are actually something they should feel sorry for and they ought to talk to. It's kind of scary.
And you can almost bullet point the reasons why someone would come up with that, and that brings up the first point, is that there's some notion that, they've been done wrong. So therefore they can redeem themselves by doing good for mankind. What
Exactly.
do you think of that?
Well, I think a lot of it is our media perception. Through the years, we've, instead of, demons being something ugly and scary, they've become something that is exciting and romantic. It's become the new forbidden fruit of an Eden that has no hell. I think that's the biggest problem and the biggest myth. There is a hell, and demons are not pretty.
I've heard the stories before about people saying that it helps me find my car keys, and it's the same excuses that the witch or the warlock or the wizard will use, saying that, I won at Las Vegas, because of a spell I cast. But it is not, to be trusted just as much as the mafia boss. He can lend you some money to help your family. Hey, we're family, right? Hey, but can you do me a little favor and take this package, it's a small little package, you can carry it with one finger, and you can take it down to 115th Street, the warehouse, knock on the door, say Vinny sent you, and then next thing you know, the cops are cuffing you and you're put in jail.
That's an interesting analogy.
But you got to be careful of the Greeks that bear gifts. And moving on to the next part of this thing on the can demons do any good is people said that demons don't understand what they have done that caused them to be fallen angels. And this is a little bit of a biblical history, or the history of the fallen angels. And do you have anything to add on that one?
Oh, I have a lot to add. We will be talking in greater depth about pure spirit, the Nephilim, and fallen angels in another one. The point Ken, I think, is trying to make here is basically the fact that we get confused when we think that we're talking to a spirit guide, or we're getting information from some sort of spirit that is possibly misunderstood, such as one of the most common that we hear and we see of among investigators and people that they think they might have a demon is they hear ghost cries, the sound of crying babies. Or, more commonly, when we find we are dealing with a house full of adolescents, it's either a young girl or young boy that's lost.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest deception, because this myth about there's no possible way a demon is going to deceive you and actually get you to believe anything it wants to invite you and get that door open. And I think that's the biggest thing. People don't realize how easy it is in demonology. Demonology being the study of demons. We don't have to study them, we live them. The open door is right there at any minute.
Yes, and the masquerade is important to understand, because the person that is portraying might help to play the con of it doing supposed good.
Exactly,
of course,
it's invitation.
If you saw it in its real form, you'd know right away. Just as, the guy may not know his boss is a mob boss, and then he deals in drugs or something like that, in that fictitious scenario. Luckily, I never ran into anything like that. Had a lot of jobs myself, trying to make a living at some point. Anything to add on this topic? Because the ghost,
Well, we're talking about myths, right? And we're trying to help people with a lot of the myths about demonology. We don't recommend that anybody actually study to be a demonologist. So let's make that very clear to our readers, our listeners. A demonologist is not something that you want to be. You don't want to have those experiences. Demonology itself is not looking up the names according to Anton LaVey or any of these other Satanists or people that have quoted many demon names. Demonology in which we know of one. Remember no, that was Dr. William Bradshaw, the only gentleman that we know that actually has
St.
a
Louis
PhD, yes, from St. Louis, Missouri, has a PhD in demonology from, was it Scotland, I believe? They
Yeah, one of those
actually
countries.
sent him overseas. Thank you very much for helping him. Dr. Bradshaw is brilliant and does have a book about biblical demonology. And that's going to be discussed in another episode as well, as, the types of demonologists. Demonology itself, a lot of people call themselves demonologists or say, oh yeah, I know all about demonology. The way a demon acts can be summed up in two things. Anything that God isn't, and all lies. Because it will lie to you all the time and make itself appear as something it isn't. You take that to the bank.
Exactly. Now on the, I would have spliced that part out. So as a conclusion on the topic, whether or not you should trust that a ghost or whatever is projecting itself as good, it's another topic in itself to identify ghosts and demons. So don't trust any spirit that seems to want to do supposed good. Help you pick winning lottery numbers or anything like that. I think it's the bottom line, because we know the long-term goal is the key here too. The long-term goal is your spiritual death.
Literally and
it
figuratively.
will be patient. It can take you. You've heard about people using the Ouija board and, oh, nothing happened to me. And then you look and you find out they have the worst luck for their entire life. Or 30 years later, it finally kicks in when it's convenient. Such as our friend Deb Johnson.
Yes.
I played with a Ouija board as a little girl, and she's 22 and ends up living in one of the most horrific hauntings ever.
And what do we mean by spiritual death? What we're talking about is that we were given a divine, pure spirit that can never die. It can be far away from God or it can be close to God. And all the demons, every single rank of demons, like the ranks of the angels, want a soul's demise.
Yeah.
And this is spiritual warfare at its finest. Demonology helps us understand that the battle has been won. We're still fighting it while Satan's here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please pay attention, because we will have many more videos to offer on not only this subject, but many more. There's a lot of confusing information out there, and the information that we bring you comes from personal experience, biblical facts, truths, ancient history, and a lot of research and a lot of praying. So I look forward to seeing you again, along with my husband, Kenneth Deel, here at Fellowship of the Swords.
Don't forget to check out our website, www.swordsofstmichael.org, CatholicDemonologist.com, to check out our books and other media and links of interest. And we'll see you in the next video. God bless.
Good night.